Yeah, nice little CD rack here, wire framed with a nice fabric outside. Got it for free on the freebies rack at House of Records. And it was nice and clean too. It's a lot of stuff on the freebies rack is grungy and dirty. Plus, on top of all that, it makes the CDs make less noise when they slide around in it. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. It would be very much appreciated. So those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you guys know I don't do very many in memoriam or remembrance videos, that kind of thing. Not as many as a lot of my fellow YouTubers do. There are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, whenever something like this happens, I see in my subscriptions feed a whole array of videos from fellow YouTubers that talk about their memories, their remembrances of the artist in question. So I figure, okay, there's enough of that already. Not that I have any problem with hopping on the bandwagon. Goodness knows I've hopped on bandwagons before in my life, but also I don't really feel that very often there's much I would add to the conversation. I would just kind of be repeating in a variation of what everybody else has been saying about an artist. And there are a lot of artists out there that, not to sound cruel or heartless or anything, but I don't really mourn to much of a degree. Part of me is very much aware that death is a part of life. We're all here for a finite amount of time and then we're gone. And so death is kind of natural. In that way, I'm kind of logical in that sense, kind of like, Mr. Spock. Uh, you know, Death happens and it's just a natural part of life. And, I kind of appreciate silently in my own way the people who have left us. Not to get off on a existential tangent or whatever, but anyway, but this is obviously a different occasion. There have been several artists, gosh, like 6 or 8 in the last couple of months that have left us that I have actually been a fan of to varying degrees and have listened to and enjoyed to varying degrees. And that's one thing about, a lot of these artists is I'm not really enough of a fan to warrant expressing my thoughts in a video. Not that I dislike the artist, just wasn't a fan of theirs in particular. And I mean, that does kind of apply to a couple of the artists in this video, but still, I decided I needed to make a video, especially with the most recent passing, which I'll get to in a few minutes. That really kind of prompted me, okay, this is an exception. You got to make a video. So, yes, a lot of different artists have passed in the last couple of months, and I'm just going to share the mostly somewhat limited thoughts I had on them, just to acknowledge that yes, they made a contribution to music, and in some cases, other walks of life, other areas of life. Where did I put the one thing? Oh, there it is. I have an LP. I just want to make sure where it was so I don't go reaching for it over here. It's actually over there. Anyway, the first one I'm going to mention, probably the most high profile, the highest profile, is Ozzy Osbourne. This is actually the only recording of Ozzy stuff that I have, with the exception of maybe a couple of tracks on compilations. Just have never been that huge a fan of Ozzy's music or of Black Sabbath, but still, you cannot deny the contribution he's made to music as well as to pop culture in general, with the groundbreaking at the time reality show The Osbournes, taking a look behind the doors of the Osbourne family household. That was amusing and interesting and thought-provoking in various ways. But yeah, you cannot deny Ozzy's output. Obviously, Crazy Train, whose lyrics are frighteningly relevant, even more relevant perhaps today than they were when he wrote and recorded the song. Yes, and gosh, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution. Let's see, Diary of a Madman, and of course, Paranoid, the perhaps Black Sabbath's biggest hit single. Mama, I'm Coming Home, which kind of takes on an interesting meaning now. Let's see, No More Tears, Time After Time, I Just Want You. So yes, the hard rockers, the power ballads, and I think to call Ozzy a metal artist is to kind of unfairly box him in, to sell him short, because the last few songs I mentioned on the list, excellent power ballads. So yes, and I just find it, if I may say so, I find it hilarious and amusing and ironic that you could understand Ozzy perfectly when he's singing, but when he's speaking, you could barely understand every fourth word he said. Just a funny, amusing observation I had about Ozzy. But yeah, Godspeed, Ozzy Osbourne. You made a magnificent, massive contribution to pop culture and to music over your 76 years. Yes, he passed away on July 22nd, age 76. The next one I wanted to mention was an artist who, strangely enough, just a month or so ago, I found her 2 CD set of her stuff. I believe this was at St. Vinny's, so I found it for 99 cents. Connie Francis. Yes, she was a fantastic singer from the 50s and 60s primarily, I think. Yes, so many great, great songs, pop songs that she did over her career. Who's Sorry Now, one of her biggest hits. And Stupid Cupid, another great song. Lipstick on Your Collar was excellent. I remember seeing a clip of her singing that on The Ed Sullivan Show. I've got a couple DVDs of the very best of The Ed Sullivan Show. And that's kind of how I found out about Connie Francis. And Don't Break the Heart That Loves You. Everybody's Somebody's Fool. So yes, just a massive collection of her hit songs. And yes, she made an indelible impression on pop music. She was the first female artist to have, I believe it was 3 number one hits on the Billboard Hot 100. So yes, she was groundbreaking in her own right. So yeah, Connie Francis will be missed along with all the other artists I have in this video. Next one is a probably second tier compared to Ozzy and maybe Connie Francis, arguably. Chuck Mangione. He was a jazz flugelhornist as well as trumpeter. Also, I believe. I think he played both instruments. But yes, most famous for his song "Feel So Good," the instrumental hit that was, I believe, it topped the charts. I think it was definitely in the top 5. I think, but that was back in 1977. And The Children of Sanchez, that was another song of his. And he wrote a couple of songs as kind of themes for the Olympic Games. Let's see, Give It All You Got, I believe, was one of them. And was the other one Fun and Games, I think? And also the theme from the movie Cannonball Run. So, yeah, definitely a career in music, jazz, instrumental jazz. And I've got not only this greatest hits collection, this was on the A&M label. I also happened upon, this was just about a year or so ago, a collection on the Sony label. And different songs, except there is a version of Feels So Good on here. Not sure if it's the same one as on the A&M compilation, but yeah. Definitely a great, great musician. And as you saw in the thumbnail, I have a 2 LP set of him live at the Hollywood Bowl. And I think this was actually on the freebie shelf at House of Records. And so, yeah, excellent, excellent musician. Tops in the jazz world, if you will, especially back in the 70s during his heyday. So, yes, I felt the compulsion to play Feel So Good a few times over the last week or so. Yes, he passed away at the age of 84 on July 22nd, the same day as Ozzy Osbourne, and Connie Francis was 87 when she passed away on July 16th. Take a quick drink here. And the next one, I actually have not seen anyone make a video, at least not in my subscriptions. And actually, I think I have looked searched on YouTube, and I have not seen any remembrance videos as of yesterday. I think was when I looked last. Tom Lehrer. Now, this guy was he was a mathematician and mathematics professor by trade, but he took a couple of 3 or 4 year detours into satirical songs. Yes, mostly they were songs. He kind of took the what was his name, Alan Sherman route, and took existing songs, but put funny or um, somewhat dark, morbidly humorous, darkly humorous, or sometimes politically satirical lyrics over on those songs. And he kind of built a cult following on that. He only put out 4 albums, I believe, and they were actually 2 studio albums and 2 live albums of, I believe, the same material. So in a way, he only put out 2 albums. But yes, he built a lifelong cult following on that relatively small output. And this is a great compilation I found back in 2010, I believe. 2010. It's a CD packed with his songs as well as a DVD of a performance in Oslo, Norway, I believe. Yeah, Oslo, 1967. So right at the height, I believe that was at the end of his music career. And after that, he decided, he just wasn't into the being a famous musician or that kind of thing. His heart was in mathematics, and so he went back to his very long after that career as a mathematician and mathematics professor. So yes, an interesting detour into the novelty song arena. But yes, Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, that gives you an idea of his rather morbid sense of humor, as well as the Vatican Rag, which caused a big controversy, as you can imagine, in the 60s with the Catholic Church. Uh, and he did a holiday song, I'm Spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica. You gotta love it. And So Long Mom, a song for World War III. And National Brotherhood Week, a take on racism and race relations. So yeah, just a great collection of hits from this guy. I am perhaps going to miss him the most out of all these other artists. And I actually honestly forgot he was still alive and kicking. But yes, he passed away July 26th, just a few days ago, at the age of 97. So yeah, you can't say he didn't live a long life. And he actually left us with a nice um, little collection of music to remember him by. Great artist. I've got to say, one of my sentimental favorites. Oh, and the song "The Elements" was got a little resurgence in popularity when I believe Sheldon sang it on The Big Bang Theory. So, just just a list of the chemical elements on the periodic table, sung to the tune of Modern Major General, a show tune from Pirates of Penzance. Anyway, such was his sense of humor. And now we're moving into the passings that occurred back in the month of June. Again, several artists there that high profile artists who passed away. Probably the highest profile in June was Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Yeah, this is actually the only solo Brian Wilson album that I have. This is his No Peer Pressure, the deluxe version, which I thought was a very good album. I don't know. Some people might not have been crazy about it, but I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, his tenure with the Beach Boys and his the course that he took the Beach Boys on pretty much revolutionized popular music, starting with Pet Sounds, the massive hit album, which I really do enjoy. And yes, this is a 2-disc version, mono and stereo on disc 1, and the instrumental album as well as live recordings on disc 2. So nice little trick if you can find this version of Pet Sounds. It's definitely bang for the buck there. And then, of course, the greatest hits of the Beach Boys. So many songs. I mean, pretty much every single song on here, so that was the influence of the Beach Boys, and by extension, Brian Wilson on popular music. Cannot be denied. Yes, he passed away at the age of 82 on June 11th. And then the next one, probably the next highest profile, passing in the month of June, was Sly Stone, founding member of Sly and the Family Stone. And this is the only album of theirs that I have right now. I will probably pick up more of their stuff, since the passing of Sly. Yes, he was 82 years old. He passed away on June 9th. Yes, he lived a long life despite, I believe, at least one bout with drug addiction. But yes, Stand, I Want to Take You Higher, Everyday People, just on this album were those massive, massive hits. So, yeah, one of the masters of funk and soul, Sly Stone. Godspeed to Sly Stone and to everybody else I mentioned in this video. Next one is a bit, I don't know, second tier, maybe. Rick Derringer. Yes, he passed away on, actually, this is going back to May 26th at the age of 77. And this is the only Rick Derringer album I have, and he's famous, of course, for the song Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. And but I know him most famously as, and here's my little look inside my warped mind. I know him most famously as the producer of Weird Al Yankovic's first 6 albums. So yes, Weird Al got the producer credentials. They pulled in the big time producer. Of course, I don't know if it was his decision or somebody else's, but yes, Rick Derringer definitely helped Al mold himself into not just a one-hit wonder novelty artist, but an artist of enduring, whatever you call it, enduring endurance, whatever. And I'm at a loss for words, obviously. So, but yes, yeah, Rick Derringer, age 77, passed away on May 26th. Rock artist and celebrated producer in my book. And then the other people on the list, I wanted to mention a handful of others. I just don't have any of their material, oddly enough. Roger Nichols, he passed away on May 17th at the age of 84. He was a songwriter. He was co-wrote many of the Carpenters' biggest hits, and he kind of popped out into my attention because he actually lived in Bend, Oregon, a city in Central Oregon. So kind of a little bit of an Oregon connection there. Just kind of, I kind of find it kind of interesting when an artist has an Oregon connection. So yes, so Godspeed, Roger Nichols. And then I'm kind of surprised I don't have any Lalo Schifrin in my collection. As big of a soundtrack fan as I've returned to becoming in the last couple of years. But yes, Lalo Schifrin, most famous for writing the theme from Mission Impossible, probably one of the most famous television themes ever, perhaps the most famous TV theme ever, and many, many, many other film scores, TV scores back in his earlier days. Yes, he made a massive contribution to the world of film and TV music. He was 93 when he passed away on June 26th. Bobby Sherman, a teen idol from the 60s. He was 81 when he passed away on June 24th. And then Mick Ralphs, he also passed away at the age of 81 the day before, on June 23rd. He was most famous as a founding member of Mott the Hoople and Bad Company. So yes, a massive rock artist. And no, I don't have any albums by either of those artists, strangely enough. And then a couple of songwriters passed away, aside from Roger Nichols. Charles Strauss, at the age of 96, he passed away on May 15th. He is most famous for co-writing the musicals Bye Bye Birdie and Annie. And Alan Bergman, who passed away at the age of 99 on July 17th. He wrote many famous pop songs, "The Way We Were" by Barbra Streisand, that Barbra Streisand made famous, the Neil Diamond hit "You Don't Bring Me Flowers," and he also had 2 collaborations with my man John Williams, including the song "Moonlight" from the movie, the remake of Sabrina, that John Williams scored. So yes, very famous songwriters there, very, very made big and lasting contributions to the world of popular song. And also 2 composers who made their biggest career contributions to the world of television. Mark Snow, who is most famous for writing the theme from The X-Files, the sci-fi suspense series. He died on July 4th at the age of 78. He also scored episodes of Smallville, Millennium, and One Tree Hill, among many other television shows, as well as Alf Clausen. He passed away at the age of 84 on May 29th, and he wrote the music for many episodes of The Simpsons, Moonlighting, and Alf, the TV sitcom from back in the 80s about an alien from outer space. I'm not sure if they named him Alf because of Alf Clausen, or if they hired Alf Clausen because the show was named Alf. I don't know. Or if it was just a cosmic coincidence. But anyway, yes, so many artists have passed away basically since spring. May, June, July, these last 3 months have been kind of brutal when it has come to people from the world of music leaving us and moving on to the next plane of existence. So yes, Godspeed and thank you and farewell to every one of the artists that I mentioned in today's video. Your contributions will continue to live on even if you are no longer on this earth. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. I would love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon to catch my future videos, and hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.